Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel bookswithnatasa. And today I have another fun video film for you guys, and that is my April wrap up. So without any further ado, let's just jump straight into the video. So just starting out, I want to mention that I know that I haven't been very active lately on my channel just because I don't have really the time to film videos. So I will try to film a wrap up each month and then a few extra videos when I have a little bit of time. So I hope you guys can understand, but without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. In the month of April, I read 10 books and 51 manga. I know that is a lot, but let me just say this series have quickly become a new favorites. I also discovered a new favorite book, and so many amazing things happened this month reading wise. So let's just get right on it. First, I started the month by reading a few novellas just because I wasn't really in the reading mood. Also, I really wasn't sure what to pick up. So the first book is Cupid's Peak by Lee Jacot. I'm totally butchering that name, but I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and this was a Valentine's Day friends to lovers situation novella. There is basically this girl Mia that is really introverted and doesn't go out much until her sister, I believe, convinces her to go on a Valentine date and basically get some action. She sets her up with her old crush Eli. They used to be really close in college, and she had this huge crush on her, but she never acted on it because she's really socially awkward, and he's like super popular. So now that they are here, things get heated in a game of truth or dare, and emotions start showing, and truths are revealed, and it's just amazing and really fun novella to read around Valentine's, or just when you read something light. And this was just cute and steamy, and was exactly what I needed at the time. Next, I read Hollow Grove by Lee Jacot, which is another novella by the same author, which I gave 4.75 out of 5 stars. This is a Halloween special, basically, and Eve hates Halloween, hates creepy and scary things, because all of her life, her best friend's brother, Dorian, has scared the living crap out of her, basically, and they have this love-hate relationship. So when there is this haunted house that they need to have the girl, her friend, and his sister, so they basically are forced to work together. But Dorian is like, so after a few years back that he made the mistake of not going into this place with her, he totally regrets it. So this time he feels the need to make Eve his. So there is this game cat and mouse that they play, and their emotions and feelings are revealed to one another, and just is amazing. Next, we have Temptation, which is book number 1 in the Hunter series by Ivy Smoke, which I get 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is a teacher student romance, and basically I thought this was a standalone, so I was really it was a bit let down when it turns out it's a series, and this thing is gonna drag out for like 5 books. So I have no plans to continue with the series, but as a first book it was really amazing, and it would definitely be good as a standalone. But maybe someday I will continue it, but at the time, at this moment, I'm just not really feeling it, so I guess there's that. Next, we have an arc that was sent to me by Catherine Cowles, and I couldn't be more grateful. I have posted this book everywhere on my social media, Goodreads, Instagram, everywhere basically, TikTok. I can't stop raving about, and that book is Echoes of You by this is Lost and Found series book number 2 by Catherine Cowles, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This is her book number 2 in her newest series, and I love this book so much more than the first one. Nas is just amazing. His relationship with Matt is incredible. So basically this is a childhood friends to lover situation, and I didn't know that I love this trope until I read it by Catherine Cowles, so now it's one of my favorites. Basically, Nas and Maddie were always close. They grew up together. They were best friends, and even though they grew to, and Nas was there for Maddie when things were super rough with her family because she was physically and mentally abused, and he was her only constant. And they are really they truly love one another, but they don't want to go in a romantic way because they don't want to ruin the friendship because Nas is all that Maddie had because he's her only constant and they don't want to risk that. So basically, fast forward to now. This is all in the past now. We have Maddie coming back to this town after a few years that she's been away. We found out that she broke up with her fiance, and there is a lot of secrecy going surrounding that, but she's feeling confident and really wants to start over, and she feels happy to be home back with Nash because she really did miss him because they had sort of drifted apart, but I'm trying not to spoil the reason because you'll find out later in the book. But yeah, this book was done wonderfully well. Catherine Cowles really does write amazing characters and amazing settings. She does have a certain recipe that she goes with her books. Like in the third act, basically someone gets kidnapped or shot or almost shot, and the significant other gets hurt and goes to the hospital. But other than that, this whole book took me completely by surprise. I absolutely loved it. I am planning on reading it soon, and I highly recommend everyone to read it. It comes out in a few weeks, I believe, and everyone should read it. Next is another arc that was sent to me by the author, and that is Feed Rose Forever, which is book number 4 in the Queen Cove series by Stephanie Archer. This was the first book by her, and in the series that I read, you can totally read them out of order because they are sort of connected but also not, if that makes sense. So when I got this arc, the tropes were just right out in my alley, and of course I wanted to read it, but I didn't have the time when it was sent to me a few months back, so I started to read it a few days ago and absolutely loved it. This book was such a fun time and I was laughing out loud. It was just amazing and I loved it. It was so good. So basically we have Finn and Olivia in this one, and they used to date back in high school, I believe, but then something happened and they broke up, and now Finn is back and he's super determined to get Olivia back because he realizes that he made a huge mistake by letting her by breaking up with her because she's been miserable ever since. He hasn't been able to move on and she hasn't been either. So yeah, I give this book 4.5 out of 5 stars in case I haven't mentioned it. But I finally decided to pick up Underdog by Mariana Zapata and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. This is the only Mariana Zapata book so far that I have given 3 stars. I just wasn't connected with the characters or the story, but I was also really interested to know what will happen next, just plot-wise, but the characters were so flat out, maybe because it's one of her earlier works, and I didn't really feel the chemistry between the two characters. And I really didn't like the fact that we always talked about basically the girls' bowel movements and the guys also. It was just, I didn't like it. So yeah. I am planning on reading Dear Aaron soon and maybe Lukov, but other than that I have no other plans to read any other of her books. I am waiting until she has a new one, but other than that I have basically read most of her books that I want to read. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Next, I started reading the Honey Mountain series by Laura Pavlov. So this is Evermind, which is book number 2, the Honey Mountain series by Laura Pavlov, which I gave 4 stars. This is a second chance romance, and it gives all the feelings. It's funny and playful, which I really enjoy. There's a lot of teasing and joking around, and there's a lot of reminiscing and playfulness as Hawk and Everly quickly get back to the place they used to be, but there's also a lot of heartbreak because they used to date in high school and they had plans to get married and everything, and but then Everly's mother died quite suddenly and she was drowning in grief and she didn't want to drag Hawk into it, so she broke up with him and moved away to New York, and she hasn't been home for a while. And now that she's back and working for him, a lot of stuff keeps coming back up, but he's the only one that actually can help her open up and deal with it. So there is a lot of that stuff happening. It was such a heartbreaking book, but I also really did love it, how they were both there for each other from the very beginning, and I just love it so much. I have my favorite book in this series so far, and that is Make You Mine, which is book number 3 in the Honey Mountain series by Laura Pavlov, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. This is a single parent romance, and this is such a beautiful story. It's a friends to lovers single dad romance, and it made me cry, laugh, swoon. I mean, seriously, I fell in love with this character. I absolutely loved it. The third book in the series, it follows Aslan, which is the youngest of 5 sisters, and also Jace, which is a single dad that has two adorable little girls. And this is just such an honest and natural romance, and it just feels so natural and genuine, and it was just amazing. I also cried so much during the third act. It was just so heartbreaking because you know that they are so in love with each other and they don't want to break up basically, but the situation forces them to for the best of the girls. And I love how Aslan is the one that made this decision for all of them, because she decided to put the girls first before hers and Jace's feelings, and that was just incredible. And I was just a sobbing mess while reading that, and this story was just wonderful. I highly recommend you guys read. So that's it for all the books that I read this month, so let's just jump straight into the manga. The first series that I binge read the entirety of is Seraph of the End, and I read volume 1 until 29, and in total the series is a 4.5 out of 5 stars series, but a few volumes was given I gave 5 stars. I have the individual reviews posted on my Goodreads if you want to check them out, but basically I thought it was finally time to pick up the series. My friend Mel, who is a huge fan of the series, totally convinces me and turned me into Mika and You shopping mess, because I loved them before, but now I'm obsessed with them. I knew it was gonna get like this, that's why I was hesitant about reading the series, but I'm just so happy that I did. I love all these characters, the story, everything about it. I love how the turn that it took, but also volume 20 broke me. I was so in mess, and I mean, Mel did warn me, but still, it was insane. I really miss Binka as a vampire, but I really love the turn that it took in the later chapters. And now we have Mika and you together, and I just need them to become canon, because we all know that Michaela has romantic feelings for you, but we are waiting for Yu's confirmation feeling, which we already know that exists, but we just want to hear it. Mika needs to hear it, guys. But I mean, basically, he did choose him over the world and his friends, so-called family, but still, I need more. So I can't wait for the next chapter after, which is May 1st, I believe, which is gonna be 216th chapter, I believe, something like that, and I'm just so excited. This series is definitely a new favorite. I love it so much, and the manga is 1000% better from the anime, and just so amazing. Next, another series that is a new favorite of mine, that is Sweat and Soap, which I read volume 1 until 11, and I gave them 5 out of 5 stars. So the premise of this book manga series was just super strange, and I wasn't sure if it's gonna be my thing, but as soon as I picked it up, I was like, this is interesting. I like the characters, the chemistry between them, and by the time I realized, I was like halfway through, I was obsessed. I love this character, the relationship was just, we had no miscommunication trope, which I loved. I love how open they were with her feelings, and and I just love everything that happened in the series, how the relationship developed, how the meeting with the parents went, how they moved in together, got married, everything was perfection. So highly recommend you guys read it if you want like a romance series that is on the steamy side. This is amazing because I haven't read a lot of series that follows actual adults, so that was a really nice turn of events, and I can't wait to read more. Next, I read Maid-sama, which is from volume 1 until 18, I believe. So this is a 4 out of 5 star series, and I have to say it's so much better than the anime. I am in love with Uzi and Misaki-san. They are incredible together. I loved it. Also, I didn't really see the turn that Uzui was like from the super rich family, and they were so against him dating Mizaki, and she really had to go there and actually work for it. And I loved how realistic it was. I mean, how hard it works for the relationship to actually be able to get married and have the family that they all dreamed of. And I actually loved after Misaki really accepted her feelings and started dating, showing how they were in the relationship. They were adorable. I also loved the spicy scenes that we had. Not too much because it is, I think, a young adult shoujo, but still I really did love it, and it was really just the best boyfriend ever, and I think Misaki needs to treat him a lot better than she has, but still I really do love them, and I think they are amazing. Highly recommend you guys pick up the series. It's amazing. Don't trust the anime, the manga is 1,000 times more better. Next, I read the case study of Anita's volume 1 and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I was planning on doing a buddy read with Mel on this series, but when we started volume 1, I just wasn't feeling the characters or the story or anything basically, and it felt forced to continue with the series, so I am not gonna continue with it. I might watch the anime someday, but as for the manga, I have not decided to continue. It's just not my thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't think it's the vampire plotline because I really did love that. I think it's more the magic system and everything. I really wasn't feeling all the scenes between Vanitas and the other girl. I'm sorry. Or for Noe and the other guy. It was such a... I didn't like any of it, so I had a lot of trouble continuing with it. The comedy scenes were okay, but other than that, nothing. Last manga that I read was last night, and I read Kame-sama Kiss Volume 6, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I am slowly continuing with the series. I'm taking it slow, one step at a time, basically, because I really don't want it to finish. But reading Volume 6, I was totally surprised because the anime totally skipped an entire character. I mean, when Nanami was getting ready to go to Uzumo for basically the God convention, there was this girl that she was competing with, and she actually kissed Tomo and everything, and she was actually being used for the entire time by Kurishima and also the gods, and I had no idea about that, and we didn't see her at all in the anime. So when she showed up, I was like, who the hell is this? And then she got introduced and everything, and I really loved her storyline, but she was also really mean, but I also understood her point of view. Also, I really liked that we got to see a little bit of Korihima because he didn't just pluck out of nowhere like the anime, and we had no idea what he wants or what what he's doing basically in the sidelines and everything. So I think the manga is gonna explain that a lot better than the anime. So let us hope and see what happens. So that's it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had so much fun talking about these books and manga that I read this month. I know I gave a super cliff notes version this time, and I'm really sorry, but just my throat is not in the best shape right now. But I would really appreciate if you check out my Instagram. I will put the thing here. I post there almost every 2 days a new post, and I have a new thing going on. I would really appreciate if you give it some love and like, subscribe, stick around, and I will see you for my next video very soon. Bye!